You know, the whole AI revolution, it's all built on silicon, right? But what if I told you the company holding the master key to that entire future is one you've probably never even heard of? Today, we're unlocking the story of what might just be the most important company in the world. Now, in the world of semiconductors, this isn't just some clever saying, it's the absolute truth. We all see the emperors, like TSMC, but there's a hidden kingmaker, the one who actually forges the crown. So who is this Dutch company, and how on earth did they end up holding the keys to our entire technological future? Well, the answer starts with this insane global race for a chip that's just 2 nanometers wide. Okay, so right now, every single major tech power on the planet is locked in this fierce battle. But they're not fighting for land or oil. Nope, they're fighting for mastery over something impossibly small, the 2-nanometer chip.
And look, a 2-nanometer chip, it's not just about making your phone faster. This thing is the holy grail of ultra-low power consumption. Why does that matter? Well, without it, the massive data centers running all this AI, they would literally suck up an unsustainable amount of the world's energy. So this isn't just a nice little upgrade, it is an absolute necessity for the future we're all building.
Okay, so how in the world do you even build this holy grail chip? You need a machine that can print circuits smaller than a virus. And, it turns out, only one company in the entire world can build it. The key to the whole 2-nanometer future, it all comes down to this one single mind-bogglingly expensive piece of gear. $350 million. Let that sink in. That's the price tag for just one of ASML's new high-end EUV lithography machines. To put it simply, this is the most advanced printing press ever created by humans. It uses extreme ultraviolet light to etch these impossibly tiny patterns onto silicon. And again, that's not the price of a factory. That's for one machine.
Yeah, to really put that number into perspective, think about this. For $350 million, you could buy an entire, successful, mid-sized company, the whole thing. Or you could buy one machine from ASML. That just shows you the incredible scale and the sheer value of the technology they've managed to create.
But here's the crazy part. Even if you've got the cash, you can't just go out and buy one. The biggest chip makers on the planet, we're talking TSMC, Samsung, Intel, they're all literally standing in line, just waiting for ASML to deliver. Why? Because they know deep down that without this machine, mass-producing 2-nanometer chips is simply impossible. Game over.
All right, so having the only key in town is one thing. But when you look at the financial data, that's when you see what a true monopoly looks like. And honestly, the numbers are just staggering.
Just look at this revenue projection. They're on track to hit 42 billion euros by 2026. That is a 50% jump in just 2 years. This isn't your normal steady growth. No, this is a financial explosion, and it's all fueled by a world that is desperate for a product only they can sell.
And this is where it gets even more wild. Even though they're building this massive, complex, heavy machinery, their profit margin is heading towards 55%. I mean, those are the kinds of margins you see from software companies, not a heavy industrial manufacturer. That, right there, is the pure, raw power of a monopoly. You set the price, and the world has no choice but to pay it. And you think the demand is slowing down? Not a chance. Their current order backlog is sitting at over 40 billion euros. They have so many orders that their factories could run 24/7 for the next year and a half, and they still wouldn't clear the list. So for ASML, a recession doesn't mean a lack of customers. It just means they literally can't build the machines fast enough.
So, you can see this absolute technological dominance has huge financial implications. But it goes way beyond that. It's transformed ASML's machines into one of the most critical assets in modern geopolitics. You've heard about the ongoing chip war, right? Especially between the US and China. Well, in that fight, controlling access to the most advanced technology is everything. And because ASML is the only source for these machines, they've become a powerful strategic weapon. Governments are literally using export controls to decide who gets access to the future of computing and who gets left behind. But you know, their business model is even stickier than it looks at first glance. Over a quarter of the revenue, it comes from ongoing maintenance and services. This creates this incredibly powerful service mode. It's this recurring, locked-in income stream that makes sure their customers can never leave. Why? Because nobody else on the planet can service these things.
Yeah, really think about that for a second. They don't just sell you a $350 million machine and walk away. Oh no. They get paid rent for the next 2 decades to service it, upgrade it, and keep it running. They're not just manufacturers. They are, without a doubt, the ultimate high-tech landlords.
Okay, so we've seen the insane technology, the mind-blowing numbers, the geopolitical power. What is the single most important thing you need to understand about this company's role in the world?
It all just boils down to this one simple, totally undeniable rule. You know, if NVIDIA is the star of the AI show, ASML is the company that built the only stage in the world. Let me say it again. Without ASML, there is no advanced AI. Period. End of story.
All right, now since you stuck with us this far, here's a little inside coordinate for you. The most complex, most critical part of an ASML machine is its massive, absolutely flawless lens system. And guess what? Those lenses are made exclusively by one private German company, Zeiss. So what's the big takeaway here? The publicly traded companies that own a piece of Zeiss, well, they're positioned to be the quiet, secret winners of this whole technological shift.
And that really leaves us with one final big thought. We talk a lot about the companies writing AI software, the ones designing the chips, but as we've just seen, the real power, it might just lie with the one company that has mastered the laws of physics to build the very womb where that future is born. So I'll ask you, in a world totally powered by AI, who really owns the future?